Hello and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. This is an impromptu FPS to start this off. So we don't know what's gonna happen. So please enjoy the ride as I am playing Madlad. Oh yeah, I forgot my name. I'm Winona and I'm playing Madlad and I'm joined by the amazing and wonderful.
So I'm due Kirin. I'm gonna be playing Eeny Miny and Mo because Madlad has an idea and he thinks this idea is a very good one. Don't think Madlad quite understands what what exactly he may have wrought just by going to do what he's going to do today.
Which makes sense.
But we
He's
should
a
probably
kid.
explain. We should probably explain what the hell they're talking about.
Yes, because Madlad, not too long ago, was blessed by Soul. Though he doesn't know who Soul is, it's just this plant horse creature. But they were basically they know they're connected to the person who, well, where he found his little buddy Snap, the Snappodill. But he does not know it's a Snappodill. But Soul basically told him you could keep Snap. But now Madlad's like, great, I don't know how to properly take care of this thing, and I don't know exactly what this thing is. And this flower plant horse cannot talk. So I need to find someone who knows about what this thing is. So,
Cool. Okay.
so he's
You're
going to
gonna
find
try
his
and
friend. Sorry.
you're good. Please finish what you were saying.
So the only person he knows about who knows about the nature and outdoorsy stuff is EMM, Eeny Miny Mo. So he's gonna go find them.
Roll me a survival.
I will roll me survival. Get into the roll zone. 20 plus 7. Alright. Not the best, but also not the worst.
13. Um, well, you probably try and check out the most common places you usually would associate them with, because you've heard. I'd say it's probably a 13 because you're trying to find them within the city first of all, and then you hear like whispers of like, oh no, they you ask around, probably be like, have you seen this tall freaking bird too? And a lot of people look around and shake their
Yeah,
heads.
like his
No, they
first.
haven't.
Yeah.
They haven't been around for a few weeks. Like they've not been in town or anything. You, like try search outside of town, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, probably first try to search outside town where they usually find him. But he's probably after I was like, no, we haven't seen him.
Mm. Yeah, which is kind of weird. Actually, maybe for you it's not kind of weird. You know, you don't know what's up with Eeny, Miny, and Mo. They did say they're rangers. They run around a lot, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, you head out of town and you have a look around, and it takes you a little while before you find them, but you kind of probably backtrack through the place they took you through their ranger training,
Mm-hmm.
which is go through the forest. You probably go through the hillocks and you can't find them anywhere around the hills. Um, you kind of just trudge a little wearily around before coming towards a path, a slightly rockier path. Um, and you can kind of hear something coming from the bushes just to your left.
Madlad is gonna try to stealth. He wants to say, if this is eating my mo, he wants to try to get the jump on them this time. Instead of the reversed. Oh!
Um,
That's a 24 on stealth!
Let me just check my perception. I don't have a chance of. Yeah, no. You sneak. You tap into your little sneaky man instincts, and you sneak. You
Mm-hmm.
sneak very hard. Um, yeah, you sneaking. You absolutely sneaking. And as you're sneaking through the underbrush, you notice There are deer trails and rabbit trails and foxes trails and all sorts of trails made by different shapes of animals. Um, but you do notice there seems to be a kind of newer. You can tell it's newer because as you look at the bracken, it seems to be freshly cleaned and snapped, and you can tell from your training. Usually, if an animal has been traveling through the path very recently, the branches and stuff won't grow into that path because you know
Mm-hmm.
plants can learn that way. This doesn't. This path that you're looking through doesn't look like that. It looks freshly mowed down, freshly cut through. And as you follow the path along, you come towards a clearing. And do you want to roll me a perception?
Yes, I will roll the perception.
I'm gonna roll one of these.
Ooh, nice. 19.
Okay. Oh, okay. Um,
Wow.
first roll I make and it's a nat 20. Okay.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
way to start out.
oh yeah. So you come to the clearing. 19. First thing you spot is the campfire in the middle. Of what appears to be a little pebble pile. It's not lit at the moment. It's a smallish campfire. And then you see there's like logs kind of placed around it. Some are some are like bigger. Like there's one that's very very big, like from a freshly felled tree. And there's others that are slightly older, more worn down, more for sitting on. Whereas the other one seems to have like a lot of like moss and bracken and twigs and stuff put to one side of it. And there seems to be like a tarp with two twigs over the top that looks kind of like somewhere someone would sleep. Um, and so directly in front of that, or behind that, I should say, Pebble Shore leads down into a stream. It has small, tiny little rock pools that lead off of it on either side, and on the opposite face, there's a kind of rock wall cliff face with a very shallow, narrow ledge running across the other side. You can't see the beginning or the end of this stream. They curve around towards the woods, different directions. But you definitely do see, crouched on the other side, staring very, very intently at the water, is Eeny, Miny, and Mo. They're just staring at the water very, very intently, and they seem to be looking for something. So you do notice there are fish in the water.
Yeah, Madlad, maybe with that 24, will sneak around and he wants to try to tackle Eeny, Miny, and Mo. He wants to be the one who gets the jump on them this time.
Okay.
But not very sure if that 20 will retroactivate it.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if you're trying to sneak across, they're on the opposite side of the river from you at the moment. They're on the small ledge part, and
Yeah.
not like the sloping pebble beach part. They don't seem to have noticed you though. They are definitely staring dead into the water. You can try and roll to get across or anything if you want, or try and sneak up on them. You got that 24. You can keep that.
Yeah, he would like take the little bit of around way. Like he's gonna stay in the bracken. He's gonna stay in the bushes on the edge of this clearing to sneak around to be able to say sneak up on them from behind.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, the
Um,
duality of man.
I got an 11, a 1, and a 20 on flat d20 rolls. Ow. That is a middle, a low, and a high.
Which is hilarious.
God, I gotta figure out whose is who. Oh, I know whose is who. I know exactly whose is who. So, me, Money, and Mo, crouching near the river. Then, as you're sneaking around to try and get the jump on them, you see all three of them rear their heads back, and in quick succession, thump, 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 thump their heads into the river, duck under, and slowly, one by one, pull their heads back out. Mo comes out with nothing but a soppy, mossy head of like algae and stuff. Maybe a frog on his head that just goes and just hops away. Miney comes out with a few fish stuck in his mouth. They're not huge. There's a few kippers, like say they're sardines, but that's saltwater. There's like maybe like a carp or two, maybe. And then you look at Eni, who comes hauling out. Like you see, his head is actually struggling to pick this thing up, but his whole face is basically twice the size, as there's a huge fish shape sticking sideways out from each of his cheeks, and then there's multiple little fish just kind of flopping his beak. Um, and you see them turn around and heads very carefully towards a weird little spot on the ground that seems to be cleared of most of the bracken, and he just kind of poof pops most of it onto the ground. And Eni, mate, how much of this do you eat? Do see Eni kind of like gulp a few times, and a few fish probably go down. Marnie and Mo just kind of peck at him. Oh, mate, stop eating the fish before you've actually cooked and cleaned them. Yeah, you're gonna get yourself sick, and we can't really, it's harder to get sick out here now, And he just kind of, well, excuse me, I'm sorry that I'm hungry, and you just hear a noise coming from their bellies. Still gotta try and get the jump on him?
He is still gonna try and get the jump on him.
Go for it.
What should I roll for this? Should I just roll a straight attack, or?
Do you want to roll? It's a surprise attack. They haven't noticed you, so
True.
You can roll. Guess you can roll what you want with advantage. It depends how what you're going to do.
He's
gonna
gonna
jump
try.
out and say boo. You're gonna jump on them.
No, he's gonna jump. He's gonna jump on them. So let's go with athletics. Because he's been surprised jumped by them before, and they pick him up. Now it's his turn to get them on the jump. Ooh, 16.
16. Okay. I'm gonna roll one last perception for him just to see if they can pick on that. Oh! That's a nat one! They do not notice. And you absolutely jump on their back. What do you say? What do you do? Please give me the flavor.
Madlad, like, there's a Cheshire cat grin on his face that it's like he like wiggles his butt a little bit as like he just pounces on Meanie Mine's back. He's like, "Aha! Got you this time!"
You hear a very startled ah! 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 As they just kind of, I'm gonna roll a dex save for them because you just startled the heck out of them. 18. They kind of wobble a bit on one foot, and they kind of stick their back leg out like an ice skating figure pose, as both their heads stick out over the stream, and just like, who the pick is that? And they turn their heads over, look down at you, Madlad, and they just say, "Oh, it's Lad fella."
Hee I've gotten better, guys. Now I got the jump on you.
Yeah, well done. We didn't hear that at all. Yeah, we're a bit busy catching dinner, and they just jerk towards where their fish bite is.
Yeah.
You just see a huge fish just still kind of thump, thumping on the floor.
Yeah, I saw that. That's really impressive.
Yeah, well, when Eni's on the hunt, yeah, there's not much anything can do to avoid their big old gaping maw and belly. It's not that bad. Well, I mean, you did catch a giant catch, so yes, I'm going to eat that giant catch myself because I caught it. Oh, come on, that's not fair. It's plenty fair. I'm the one that caught it.
Madlad chuckles at this.
Yeah, what are you doing out here anymore, lads? What are you here for?
Oh, all right. I say we should say I was hoping to catch up a little bit, but if you want to get straight down to business, as he then takes out from underneath his shirt and pulls out Snap, the little Snappodill, and shows it out to them.
Let me just roll something. Come on. Character sheet. Thank you. I absolutely love their nature because they are a ranger and they have precisely a no, actually they have a +1 for reasons.
Oh, that's a nat 20!
Hate this. Why are you getting good rolls on this? They look down at this thing. They tilt their heads to the side, and it kind of looks like they don't know. But then, um, Miney's eyes widen in realization. He's like, "Oh, hang on a second. That's like a fellas, come have a look at this thing." And they all just kind of lean down, look around at Snap, who is just kind of lazily having a little nap and peeking their head up. This
Mm-hmm.
weird thing. You
Yep.
don't seem particularly alarmed, so the Snap is just chilling. They're just kind of looking wide-eyed at this thing. It's like, all right, okay, that's kind of looks like a what's it called? Not a vine blight. No, it's one of them little vine things. At least it doesn't look exactly like one, mind you. Yeah, usually they don't have like a flowery head like that. But hang on a sec, and they just kind of lean back and tick 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 tick, pink their claw against their beak, and I think that thing is like an what's the word? Like an animated plant kind of thing, like a shrub. Yeah, it's like a shrub, but it's not a shrub. It's not. Well, it's not a shrub, and they just gesture the clearly not a shrub
Yeah.
of the Snappodill in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we ain't seen something exactly like this before, but we have seen like animated plants and things. We've had to cut a few of them down ourselves. So, what exactly about this did you need to know? I mean,
I
how
mean,
much we can know, but yeah, we'll help you out as best we can.
I mean, everything that you can. I mean, say, that's kind of the adventure how say, this is Snap, by the way. And that's his name. He's a cutie. And Snap just, probably just does that snaky sort of yawn.
Uh, you are gonna hear Mo just go, "Oh, he's so small. He's just a tiny little fella." We're not getting one, but he's so small. We're not getting one.
Yeah. I, Madlad just like gives that sort of, face. I did exactly find it, but at the same time, it was a byproduct of a accident that happened a while back.
They look at each other, and they look at you, and they're gonna roll insight. What's your insight, lads? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Sorry, give me a second. Everything is loading up in strange places, and I don't know why. My computer is having a time. Why are you rolling so high, guys? I'm rolling an insight about that situation.
You get the fact that this thing may have been accidentally originally stolen. You get the fact that things have changed now, but he's just like, yeah. But also at the time, it's just like, yeah, I may have actually pecked up. Not by my accord, but things just happen.
And just kind of nod slowly and like, okay, strange sticky situation thing. You had to get out quick, and this thing just sort of followed you afterwards.
I mean, pretty much. But here's the thing, guys. As he like probably just sits on their back now, where she's like, just like, I thought things were gonna go great. I mean, of course, it did go great at the beginning, just because I was being chased by the cops. But I was trying to get an animus gift for my friend. So yeah, I didn't have any money, so I decided to steal from one of the big name stores because those sites are like capitalist hellholes and they don't need that much money. But that's besides the point. I was on the run. I found a ladder next to an apartment building. I climbed up. I hid in a greenhouse.
Continue.
Yeah,
I'm not getting along. Continue.
say I hid in a greenhouse and I found this one bird who look. I don't know if he's old or paralyzed. I didn't have a chance to ask, but he was attending this greenhouse and he seemed to be like tending the things whatever Snap was. Not Snap. Wait. Sorry, my brain bugged out me for 1 second. You say 1 second. Yeah, say. He seemed to be like taking care of beings like Snap was, and I was caught, and he this is a it turned out. I mean, he. There was something wrong, but I didn't know what it was. He just was very shaky and seemed to be kind of afraid of me for some reason. I don't know why, which made the other plants, like Snap, very angry at me. I stayed as calm as possible. I didn't want to hurt him because I then found out that he's friends with one of my friends, Carminia, and he very much likes plants. So I wanted to get to know him, but apparently, I that didn't go well. And well, I say the these snap. I think you're right. They originally were some sort of shrub or something because a lot of these guys like conjugated together and just made this giant shrub. And I was backing out of it very slowly because he was just like, get out. Because like I tried to show him what I was gonna give Carmenia as an animus gift, but that was too much, even though it was just like a potted plant. So I started backing out slowly, and then I ran to this giant horse plant with a sunflower for a head, and I actually met the same one later. He was the one who let me allow to keep Snap, but but back to that other story. Basically, I say this the flower horse thing seemed to be nice, which was confirmed later when I met the flower horse thing again. And protected me and let me escape, and then I found out that one of those beings that made up of that bush, and he like shows off Snap again. It's like he Snap he fell into one of my to the pot, and I was too afraid to go back there. So now I have Snap, and the flower horse thing looks to be intelligent in some way. I don't know how much though, because he also was able to fix the side of a barn with just using vines, which is really impressive. But at the same time, it's just like I was fully willing to like give him back Snap because like I don't know how plants work, but I guess that giant plant thing was just like his mama or something. So I was gonna say here, give it back so he could be his mama, but there seemed to be like maybe some plant to plant communication, and like the flower horse let me keep Snap, and now Snap is now my little buddy.
All throughout this explanation, you haven't probably noticed, but Eenie, Miny, and Mo have just slowly been picking up the fish and putting them on the other side of the river
Uh
or
huh.
stream, and then going back, picking up more fish, putting them on the other side of the stream,
Uh
and
huh.
you kind of come to, and you're on the other side of the stream now,
Mhm.
and you seem to have like set up a spit for the fish,
Uh
and they
huh.
seem to be. Actually, I should probably roll for this. Um, my hubris. No, my hubris is safe. They do not fumble. As Mo kind of Miney reaches into his ruff and pulls out a knife and kind of pins one of the fish down and just starts to, do what
Mhm.
you do.
Yeah.
Grab the
Yeah.
fish, clean it all out.
Mhm.
Um, Eenie and Mo are just looking at you and nodding, 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 and Mo begins and saying, "Well, I mean, I was gonna say you could go back and talk to the fella, but if they don't seem be a particularly friendly sort, it might be best not to go back just in case." They look down at the plant. It's a shame because it seems that this is in fact some sort of. It might be some sort of variant, probably. Yeah, a variant of a sort, I think. Again, we ain't seen nothing like this out in the wild. Well, at least not exactly like this. But
Mad
it does seem to be an animated plant of the sort.
Mad
Um,
lad nods at
so
this,
you can roll me a
and he's like, "Yeah, I like I don't know why he didn't like me."
Amy and Mo just kind of look at each other, and then you see just a weird shrug of their body shoulder,
Mhm.
or a shoulder each, as they say, don't know, don't know who that was exactly, but yeah, it's a bit weird that there. whoever they were, they sound like a jerk anyway, so don't worry about it. And they just kind of pat you on the shoulder with their beaks and be like, it's fine. If the creature that found you before told you to keep it, then it's probably fine that you can keep it. Um, yeah. So, you'll hear about the little plant fella then,
Yeah,
little
like
snap fella.
I want to like I now that I'm allowed to keep it. It's just like I want to properly take care of Snap, but I don't know how to properly take care of Snap because I never handled a plant creature before. And you're right, the only person who would know would be that guy, but I don't know how to handle that situation.
Just nod their heads and understanding. And it's probably by this time that Miney's been finished with
Mhm.
much cleaning all the fish out, filleting them, with a rather expert hand actually, and prepping them. And then you look over and there's fish on the fire.
Mhm.
Um, and Miney puts away. Well, actually, they don't put it away. They put down a dagger made of Adler,
Mhm.
that you might recognize.
Yeah.
Um,
Aw.
yeah, for those listening, Madlad got some very nice daggers for Eeny Money and Mo for Animus.
Yeah.
And yeah, they are putting them to good use.
Mhm.
As Money turns around and says, "Well, I mean, we let's be frank with you. We're more monster slaying kind of adventurers. Not so much the plant and nature kind." And they lift up one of their wrists and just roll their wrists around, and in the air. It's just, yeah. So I mean, it's a plant, in it. So water, soil, probably some sort of soil, nutrients. I mean, you can try feed it a bit of this if you want. And they jerk towards the fish on the fire. See if it eats like meat or something. You never know.
Yeah, like I've been giving it little table scraps, and like I assumed so too. So like I made sort of a terrarium sort of thing in back at the apartment. It has some soil in it, but yet it's hanging up near the sunlight. But say that's like the basics that I've really done. As he does, he still tries to like grab a piece of the fish and try to feed it to Snap.
Uh, you grab a piece of the fish and you hold it up to Snap. Snap does not react to the fish. They kind of look at it. They look up at you and then they just kind of look away. They seem to have no interest in the fish whatsoever.
Yeah, see? Like I want to take care of this little guy. I just don't know like it's a very trial by error thing and I'm just like I was hoping maybe you would have come across a thing like this, but if this thing is like made by someone else, like the only one then logically who would know how to take care of it is the guy. But I can't go back there by myself. Wait a minute. And he just light bulb comes out from his head. What if you guys come with me? And maybe be the middleman.
They kind of look at each other and you can roll insight.
Yeah. Let's see. Insight. Of course, this kid has a one tracked mind. He's like, yeah, this is a great idea.
Yep. You see all three of them kind of look at each other as a side eye, and look back at you and just, I mean, we would, like, we honestly, we really would, lead fella. Yeah, but, for certain reasons, we're trying to keep out of cities and towns. Yeah, we've been staying in a town for a little while, and we feel like we haven't stretched our legs properly. And they're just sort of like bending their legs out and stretching and like putting a big
Mm-hmm.
show of rolling their muscles around and
Yeah.
stuff. Um, yeah, they are just doing that and say, yeah, we kind of got stuck in a little rut for a while, and we weren't doing as much as we usually did, being in the city. And we're rangers, we're rescue rangers. We got to go out and do things. And we can't do that. We're stuck in a room in a city, So threw off our chains, as it were. Uh, And yeah, we're gonna be more so out in the wilds for a little bit, I think.
Yeah, Madlad does like cock a head at that to say, "Huh? Why were you stuck in the city for a bit? Was there like a mission or something?"
Mm, they side eye each other again. Not quite a mission per se. It was more so an experiment of sort. Yeah,
Well, what kind of
it's an
experiment? And
experiment.
now he has chin hands just waiting to hear.
You see a bead of sweat roll down the side of Miney's face. They again, it's just frantic looking between each other. There's eye to eye communication here. There are no words spoken. Before they just, well, usually we don't usually pin ourselves up in cities or towns very much. So we tried it out for a little while, see what city living was like. Because we're a free range bird, as it were, and wanted to see what it was like. And you can roll another insight.
He will roll
So kind of
he will roll another insight.
look towards the
All
fire and
right.
just say,
Mm-hmm.
you see them look towards the fire and kind of a flash goes across their eyes, and Mo's head dips down a little bit as they say, let's just say it didn't work out quite how we thought it would, and we're waiting to see if our residence is still going to be our residence. Waiting to get a call back.
Mm. Mm. I see. And Madlad does not know like how to handle that. He's just like looks between them. He's like, something did happen, but it's just like, mm, should I push any more?
I mean, you're thinking that, you hear like the sizzling crackle of the fish, and you hear like a as all three heads kind of start off like, "Oh, pet burnt fish! No, 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 no! We are not having any burnt fish. I mean, we can feed it to Eni. He doesn't seem to mind. Oi! But we actually want to be able to eat some of this." And you see them kind of hurry over to the fire, sit down, and just kind of slowly pull. I'm gonna roll sleight of hand for this actually. How well do you not burn yourselves, lads? You're gonna slowly pull the fish off. And you didn't see it before, but there's like not plates or anything, but they have like a few stone slabs to like slide this onto.
Fair enough.
Oh, your sleight of hand's not bad.
Yeah, that's
Oh
a
yeah,
dirty
damn.
20.
Easy as. They slide that off onto the slab, easy as. Just slap, 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 easy, easy, easy. And they hold out one of the smaller, like a couple of different kinds of fish out there towards you, and just say, "Hey, you know what? Eat up, matey. It's free food." So, and
Are you sure?
you're a growing lad, fella. Get it down, you.
Are you sure?
Uh,
I don't say if you guys are really hungry.
Look, eat it. Eat it before Eni does. And if you look over at Eni, Eni is just
Ah,
going town
Mad Lad
on.
smiles. All right. As he takes the fish and starts eating.
It's decently cooked fish. They didn't add anything onto it. It is just fresh fish, so there's no flavoring or anything. It's not. It's slightly bland, but it's fresh. It is literally fresh out the water, and
Yeah,
it tastes fresh.
yeah.
Um,
Mad Lad smiles at that. He hasn't had really good fresh fish for a while, so even if it's bland and stuff, you can tell he's very much enjoying it.
yeah. Well, all three of them just kind of eat as they talk to you. So yeah. In terms of like the plant and such, again, we some kind of like animated plant or bred to do something kind of plant, but in terms of what it actually is, they just kind of shrug their shoulders. We can't really tell you what exactly it is because we don't know. It looks like homegrown kind of thing. Yeah, it's not a wild plant. That thing is definitely made bred with a specific intent slash purpose. I think. Don't know what it is, but it does something.
Yeah. Ugh, I was kind of afraid to hear that because I mean that means that I had to like if Carmenia was back in town she would be able to help me, but she's not back, and I don't know who knows this person. I don't say I actually no, he does know Tesser. Wait, Tesser no, did Tesser tell him about Lao? Maybe. I can't remember off the top of my head. But he's
See.
like, but he's just like, ah, but I was hoping. I mean, since I, but since like, I didn't know for sure. That's why I thought I'd ask you since you guys go around Inkwell. I thought maybe you would at least know for sure if this thing was like from a wild plant or homegrown. But now that I know it's homegrown, now I have a different problem.
Gonna slowly nod. And they're just gonna look between each other. You don't have to roll anything. You can just kind of tell they don't know what to do or say here.
Yeah, and
Um,
Madlad is just like doesn't know really what to say or do here either. He's just like he knows what he has to do, but he doesn't want to do it.
at that, they're just gonna kind of look at each other. Eni, I will say, has just kind of finished slopping down the rest of the fish with like a noise. And it's kind of that's thing like fresh fish. I mean, it's usually better, like with the spices and such in it. Well, yes, but we don't have any spices, so we just have to make do. They kind of look at you and say, "Well, whatever it is you need to do, you should kind of do it. Putting it off ain't gonna help you too much. Don't know how much advice we can give, frankly, but don't give up on looking for it. Yeah, you've got something in your care now, and it's incredibly important that you take care of what's yours.
Yeah, I know. And I really hate to ask you guys to come with me for backup. I really don't want to get into a fight with this guy's plant things because they're friend of Carmenia's. She's nice, but I'm also sort of afraid that I may get into a situation, and if that plant horse isn't there, I'm gonna say things are gonna go south really fast.
Kind of look at each other, and then, I mean, you're kind of a little pain as they say this is like, look, we really hate to say this, mate, but we can't. We can't go back. And Mo kind of interrupts. It's not a good idea for us to be in Toontown right now, so we are sorry, no, but I have to find someone else. We can see if there is anyone else that'd be able to help you out. We have got connections and stuff. I mean, we could. No, no, we can't. We can't ask them.
Them? Who's
Hey.
them?
Just gonna wave a hand. A wave clawed hand in the air as you also say, nah, it's just if you're thinking about who I think you're thinking about, yeah, no, it's not the best idea. Don't worry about it. They probably wouldn't help you anyway.
I mean,
Just
I'm
kinda...
desperate here. I am willing to take any help that you can throw at me.
Well, and they just kind of squint at each other and then look at each other. It's not necessarily help we can give. It's she might not. She doesn't know who you are, mate, and oh, she's not. Yeah, she's not an option anymore. But there are other options.
Wait, why
it's
she
not
isn't an option
impossible.
anymore?
You can roll an insight if you want.
Yeah. Dirty 20. This kid sees all.
You ask why isn't she an option anymore, and you just see all of them wince simultaneously and shuffle awkwardly, and very much try to look away from you. But you do remember the whole remember the whole actually no, you don't.
Mm-mm.
Sorry, give me a moment.
Yeah, I was
Jude's
gonna
trying
say,
to
yeah,
work.
he knows nothing of what happened between them and
Mm,
her.
mm. Don't know who this person is, but you can tell there was probably like whatever relationship they had with this person is now no longer positive, and sending you to this person, they don't know how they would receive that. And yeah, that person they're talking about is probably not an option in their eyes at the moment.
Madlad looks at this, sees this, he's just like, and he's just sort of he gets that right away. It's just like, that bad?
They look away from you and they're like, it's not that bad. Again, it's had a bit of a falling out, but well, it's on them now whether they wants to shout back, you know, and they just kind of shrug. Mo says nothing. Monica is on. Okay, so I don't know if they're in Toontown. No, they're in Villestown. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But they're not. They're not in Toontown. They're in Villestown. But there is a little tiny chicken that apparently is very very tough. I mean, he did climb a mountain to find us, which was incredibly foolish. It was a fey mountain as well. It just kind of appeared, and well, they climbed a fey mountain by themselves and down a snowy ravine, which they almost tripped and died through. No, they did actually die, and they got brought back. Oh yes, they did die and come back. But anyhow, you could probably ask them, and if not them, and they just kind of tilt back and tilt their head back and just think. Trying to think who else. Is there anyone in Toontown we know? There's the fella with like the box thing. No, wait, hang on. No, the long scarf fella. We haven't seen him in a few months. Don't know where he is right now. He's a bit of a traveller like us, I think. But he likes fish, or he likes fish bones, from the sounds of it. And they're just rattling. They are just rattling their brains right now, trying to think of who else they can suggest to you.
Yeah, and
Um,
Madlad's just like, the chicken sounds like a viable option. That is one, like, I know that chickens could be mean, but God, that sounds like a badass chicken.
no, it's this chicken is a bit worse than me, mate. They're a tough old bird, that's for certain. Although don't tell them we said that. They kind of mutter under their breath. Uh, Not a second. Who else? Who else do we have? Trying to think very, very, very hard. Um,
Yeah. Do you know where the chicken lives?
well, we don't know the street. Most people go by street names and things, don't they? And numbers. We don't think of street names and numbers. It's mostly like we know the area, but we don't know where exactly. So yeah, no, it's yeah, we don't we'd be able to kind of direct you, but not like direct you kind of thing, you know.
Mm,
And most of the people we know are mostly roamers, except for the chicken. So yeah, just kind of shrug.
I see. As he George just sits down and munch on his fish a little bit more. I mean, I could try to go there again. I'm afraid that I may get into a situation, but at the same time, I need to get this done sooner than later. I say I could be brave and say I could do this. I say I defeated a god. I'm good.
Okay, firstly, defeating a god. We're gonna want to hear that story later. Second of all, if you don't know what caused this person to have whatever happened to them, it's probably not wise to go by yourself. Yeah, no, mate, don't go by yourself. We never go anywhere by ourselves. Physically, impossibly cannot go anywhere by ourselves. So we're always fine. You, and they kind of poke you in the chest. You should probably not head off by yourself. Get someone with you. Especially if you don't know what set the fella off.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you're right, but I'm also just like, and he just flops down on like back on the wood and on the log.
Kind of just nod at each other and then at you, and they kind of you see three heads kind of lean over you, over the top of your head, and just I mean, what have you tried feeding the thing now? It's like sunlight, water, and soil, like the basics, right? Yeah, unless there's like something it doesn't like, which well, it doesn't eat meat, which is pretty good for me. And you just see no kind of any kind of chewing and swallowing.
Mhm.
Um, so, I mean, has it struggled? Has it seemed like it's in any ill health, or is it just, what do you notice about it? And
Mm, yeah. Matt is a probably roll a history on that. And because he has tried some stuff in the past, so he's gonna try to remember what has and hasn't worked. Oh, that's a 21.
you've probably tried mixing and matching some weird stuff, and
Mhm.
for the most part, unless it's like, you know, things plants normally wouldn't eat,
Mhm.
um, don't seem to have an issue. They have issues with like meat
Mhm.
products, so things like that or dairy, like meat and dairy are just big no nos. But they do kind of like drink almost anything. Like orange juice is fine.
Mhm.
Uh, obviously polluted water. You've probably tried like accidentally spilled some oil in there, and they just started like coughing that up.
Yeah.
Um, but for the most part, like even it's like slightly like rocky, sandy terrain or wherever you put them, they've been mostly fine. It's a pretty hardy plant. Just things like milk, uh, polluted water, and meat just aren't an option.
Yeah, and Madlad explains all this. He's just like, yeah, like they say they don't like. Yeah, it's just like they don't like any meats. It looks like I tried different types of meats. They don't like anything. They don't like dairy. They like water and liquid, but of course no oil or something like that. They cough if they don't like that, but that sort of makes sense. Uh, they they seem to be pretty hardy for the most part. Like I tried different sort of soil and rocky sort of bits, and they seem to be fine.
They kind of just nod above you and say, "Well, if they seem to be fine, then keep going as you're going, and I suppose just take notes of what you do and maybe reactions. Get like proper specky with it, proper scientisty. Yeah, like make a like little plant journal kind of thing. Record it all down, and well, if anything ill comes up or they start to feel a little odd, and you really have to take them to someone, then you should maybe think about taking them to the original person. Because, again, don't go by yourself, and if it don't seem to have much trouble, then you should be fine.
Hmm. Mad Lad nods at this. That's a good idea. I never thought about keeping a journal about Snap, but yeah, I could do that. And yeah, they've been doing. Yeah, it's just maybe I've just been overthinking stuff, you know? Cause I want to be good. I want to be a good plant caretaker, or creature caretaker, plant creature caretaker.
I think the word would be fauna. Like fauna? Fauna? What kind of a word is fauna? Honestly, Mo, fauna's not exactly a brilliant word, but what would you call them? Let's see. Planimals? I call it a planimal. Planimal? That sounds like a platypus. Now that sounds like a fake word, that does. Yeah, what the heck is a platypus?
Oh, I know what a
How many
platypus is. And Matt Lad raises his hand like he's in school.
They just look at him like, what are you doing? Hey, why's your hand up, mate?
You know, this is why I've been sort of taught some. I say I heard that like these are. He just looks at his hands, just like I heard this is the thing things do when you like have questions and answers, but that's beside the point. I actually seen a platypus before. I don't blame you. They look like they're not real at all. I thought that Jimmy was making it up until I saw one myself.
Eni looks very smugly at Miney and Mo. And just, I told you they were real. Okay, fine. Just because Madlad says they're real, until we physically see one with our very own eyes, it's, could be anything. Not that we don't trust your opinion, lad fella, but, it's
it's always good to see things face to face, you know.
They just
Yeah,
kind of nod
this
their
is
head.
yeah, and this is one of the things you almost had to because I don't blame you guys. It didn't look real when I saw it, and it moved and everything. Like it was a real creature, but it looked so weird.
And they just kind of nod their heads. Slight interest at that. Um, and kind of just look around the day and they look back at you and say, well, I mean, don't know if you would wanted to do anything else today, but they kind of stand up and stretch their legs, rattle around, and kind of look around this little clearing, and look at all the discarded, um, look at the discarded like fish flesh and stuff. They're like,
We either need to bury that thing so animals don't come to the side, or we chucking it into the river. Chucking it into the river's just a little bit wrong. So
yeah, we're just gonna go and find somewhere to bury this, and if you want, we can take you back. We can't take you all the way to town, but we can take you to just the outskirts if you want.
That'd be nice, and I'll help you. I say I'll help you clean up. As Madlad gets off his seat.
I mean, yeah, if you want to help, we ain't gonna turn that away.
Just make sure you got your gun out, just in case some of the bears come back. And they just basically kind of pick up some leaves, wrap it up into a put up into like a leaf bag kind of deal, like roll it up, clench it with. Actually, you're gonna see them kind of look at each other. And I need to roll a d3. They all kind of look at each other with a glare, but then slowly that glare shifts over to Mo, and he tries to glare back, and they glare harder, and then he just, fine, all right. And Mo stoops down, and he gingerly picks up the leaf bag of fish afters and just shudders like, what am I to carry this?
You carry it because you're not, you don't help prep it.
I don't catch the damn thing.
You didn't catch any of them, Mo, so you carry the remains.
And just trot off into the woods.
Yep, Madlad at their heels. They say ready to help.
I mean, I'm not gonna roll anything for this. They
Yeah.
find a spot, dig a hole, they plop the remains in the hole, and they just kind of scratch it over. They kind of look around just to make sure that there is, in fact, nothing around.
Yeah.
Yes. Nat 20. God. It's another nat 20.
Yeah.
They look around. They don't see anything, but you do hear Miney's head kind of cocked to the side.
I mean, kind of hear. I think there is something coming this way, so we might want to head out real quick. Just they probably picked up the scent.
Yeah, probably.
And they hop down, crouch down, look over at you, and just gesture for like, all right, if you
Yep.
want to hop on, and we can get you into town real quick.
Yeah, Madlad no hesitation. Hops on their back the moment they crouch down.
And with a jolt, you can roll me a strength or a dex save because they're just running.
Yep. Let's see. Let's go with Dex. Actually, it doesn't matter. But let's. Probably strength would be better. It's 11. It's average.
Okay. I'm probably kind of. Is that up dex? You say?
Yeah, it's actually strength. I changed it back.
Right.
I changed it to strength.
Okay. You climb up and they jolt forward, and you kind of struggle to cling on a little bit because you're trying to grab a purchase, and you feel yourself slip off before Mo leans his head back, grabs you by the back, by the collar of your shirt, and just kind of prongs you down deeper into the fluff, and just says, get a good grip, mate, and we'll be there back in a jiffy. And then turns back around and they just go.
Yep. Madlad just hangs on. And,
Well, let me just roll survival just to see how long it takes them. And I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to do specifically.
Nothing.
But
I say.
like a little.
Sorry, you go.
No, you go. It's fine.
I say nothing I can think of. They probably just talk while they're traveling back.
Let me re-roll that. There we go. There we go. That's amazing. They get back just fine. They take the familiar hills and the familiar way through the forest. They don't go all the way to Toontown. They stop.
Yeah.
to the side of the road that leads into Toontown. They're still in the brush and the shrubbery and the trees. Before they crouch down, nudge you off, and say,
Well, this is about as far as we can go, and yes, if you again, remember, if you do need anyone's help, there is the chicken in Villestown. They go by the name TOC.
"They're a small black chicken. They're very angry, and they have. They might be wearing glasses. They might not be.
I mean, if you want to find out if it's the right chicken, just push them off a cliff or something, and apparently they get brought back, so it should be fine.
Oh, actually, hang on a second. And they're gonna. Yeah. Mo's gonna actually no. Enie's gonna reach into his ruff and he's gonna pull out a plastic Tupperware box and hands it over to you. And if you look on the side, it's got written on the side what seems to be like some sort of pen. It's got the letters TOC written on it, and they just nod at it and say, "If you find them, show them that, and that should tell you."
Or you can show them our badge. You didn't have to. You didn't have to give them that. You could just show them your badge.
You do still have our badge, don't you?
Yeah, of course I do. And Madlad is now gonna make a fumble. Yeah, well, let's see if he will make a fumble. Nope. He proudly goes into his pocket and takes out his badge.
Let me just roll something here. No, ignore that command. I don't know what that was. It was not a roll. Yeah, they just nod down at that. Very satisfied and just right. Well, you can show him in the box, and we do want that back, mind you.
That is a very special, specific box for them, and don't let them take it off of you. Yeah, if they take it off of you, we've got to get a new one.
And then it's gonna be a pain because that's just the right size for them. So
just show them the box or your badge. Preferably, don't give them the box. All right, that's your one mission. That's the one thing you're not allowed to do. One stipulation. Don't give the box.
Yeah, Madlad nods affirmation. Right, I will not give them the box. And they stuff the box in their hammer space.
Nod. And then they kind of gesture onto Toontown and say,
"Well, it's not late per se, but you should probably get back into town."
Wait. I do need to tell you something because this is important.
Look down at you, very serious, not that. What's it? What's important, mate?
I want you to be careful in the forest, or maybe keep a lookout. There seems to be some bad business going on in the forest. And he points the way, a bit that way, more out of Toontown. I say there's this company that I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll say it's basically the bad company that Carmenia's farm is like in danger. But he's like, there's this bad company that's trying to cut down the forest, and I helped defeat them once. Like these guys are scummy. Like these guys hired like bandits to guard their thing, but of course we were able to take care of them. But if you could keep out an eye out for bandits and other sort of activity in the forest, that would really help me out.
You'll nod, taking this in very seriously, and they're like,
"If we hear anything about it, mate, don't worry.
We got our eyes out, and if anything comes up, we'll handle it." And they give you a big winning smile, salute you with two of their fingers, or their feet, I should say. And they back off into the brush, and they leave you to it. They turn around and they go deeper into the woods until you can't see hide or hair of them.
Yeah, Madlad nods. Very satisfied, at least warned them of what the dangers in the forest right now as he goes back to Toontown. And he's just like thinking, I have I may go to Bill's Town and check out that chicken. They sound really cool. And he just thinks that to himself as he walks back to Toontown.
And I think that's where we can end it.
Yeah, exactly.
Not much plant talk happened, and not as many shenanigans. But Yeah.
Just a good.
Yeah. It was very good.
Oh yeah,
Very
just a
soft.
good talk.
Yeah. Thank you for playing with me, Winona.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah. And thank you everyone for listening. We hope you had fun.
Mhm.
And hopefully we see you again in the future.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.